our cymbal, our ride and our hats are mic'd up. Obviously with them being condensers they are going to require phantom power. But don't be putting that on just yet because we've still got the overheads to go. And what we're putting on the overheads is a pair of AKG 414s. Again, fairly industry standard for overheads or for room mics. The beauty of the 414s is that they have switchable polar patterns, so you can go between figure of eights, you can go omni, you can go directional. It's really up to you. So what we're going to do is we're going to have them directional and we're going to position them centre of the drum kit but facing outwards, and hopefully that should give us a nice consistent stereo image when we pan them left and right later on. Right. Again, one of the things you're going to have to remember about these two mics is to get them as close together as possible without touching, and obviously make sure they're pointing at things that you want them to record as opposed to the wall. So you can see this one's coming down towards the cymbal and the hats. This end is coming down to that cymbal, the hi-hat and the ride, sorry, and also picking up some of the toms and the snare on the way down. The other important thing, and something that some people forget to do, is label these things correctly in a way that you'll understand it later on, or even if you pass this session on to someone else to mix. Because what is currently my overhead left is not the overhead left in the control room. And similarly, if someone's used to mixing the drums from a stage perspective, i.e. looking at the drummer as they're drumming, they're not going to know that you recorded it from a drummer's perspective. So the best way to label these things is to obviously call this one here overhead crash and ride, or overhead floor tom, and to call this one that's pointing at the hi-hats and snare something like overhead hi-hat or overhead snare. That way there's no confusion when it comes to creating a decent stereo image. Anyway, the very last thing that we need to do is obviously provide the drummer with a set of headphones so that he can hear. We do use a special type of headphone for drummers, and well, for any musician recording in here really, and that's the DT100s. The reason we use these is really because the isolation that they offer, i.e. keeping the sound of the click and various other things in the headphones out of the microphones, is very, very good. They're very, very good for that. So let's get them set up. And that's it. Join me on the other side of the glass a little bit later, and what we'll do is basically see how this drum kit sounds mic'd up like this. Don't forget that this isn't the be-all and end-all of drum miking, nor is this necessarily going to sound great when we get in the control room. It is really just a starting point. It could be that our kick drum's not sounding as good as we'd like, and it might need either a new mic or simply the mic needs moving 1 inch, 2 inches, something like that. That goes for every other mic on this drum kit. Take these as a starting point and not the gospel for recording drums. Cheers, thanks a lot.